In the vast expanse of the savannah, a lion cub named Jabari was born into a world of hardship. He was the runt of the litter, smaller and weaker than his siblings, often overlooked by his pride. His mother, Naya, did her best to care for him, but Jabari struggled to keep up. His brothers and sisters grew strong, while Jabari remained frail, constantly bullied and left behind during hunts. The pride roamed the plains, and as the months passed, it became clear that Jabari might not survive. He was often the last to reach the carcass after a kill, and the other cubs would push him away from the food. Naya could do little to protect him, as even she had to fight for her share. One particularly harsh season arrived, with prey scarce and the land dry. The pride's survival instincts kicked in, and Jabari's weakness made him expendable. One night, as the pride moved on in search of better hunting grounds, they left Jabari behind. Alone and abandoned, the young cub faced the brutal reality of the wild without the protection of his family. For days, Jabari wandered the savannah, barely surviving. He scavenged whatever he could find, often driven away by larger predators. His body was frail, and hunger gnawed at him constantly. But even in his weakest moments, something burned inside Jabari, a fierce determination to survive. One fateful night, as Jabari lay under the stars, too weak to move, he witnessed an incredible sight. A lone male lion, scarred and battle-worn, taking down a large buffalo with brutal efficiency. The lion was massive, with a mane that showed the marks of many battles, and a presence that commanded the respect of the entire savannah. He was known as Seko, a rogue lion who had survived years on his own, feared by many. Seeing Jabari's pitiful state, Seko approached the cub but didn't kill him. Instead, something in Jabari's defiant eyes caught the rogue's attention. Perhaps Seko saw a reflection of his younger self in the struggling cub. Whatever the reason, Seko spared Jabari's life and allowed him to follow at a distance. Under Seko's silent mentorship, Jabari began to grow stronger. He learned to hunt, fight, and survive in ways the pride had never taught him. Jabari watched how Seko took down larger prey alone, how he defended his territory with raw power and cunning. The harsh lessons of survival hardened Jabari, and soon, the weak cub became a fierce adolescent, his muscles filling out, his speed unmatched, and his instincts sharp. As Jabari grew, his once timid nature was replaced by an unrelenting drive. He no longer feared the dangers of the wild. Instead, he embraced them. By the time he reached adulthood, Jabari was a force to be reckoned with. His lean frame had turned into a powerful mass of muscle, and his eyes gleamed with a predator's confidence. He had learned not just to survive, but to dominate. One day, Jabari's old pride unknowingly crossed into his territory. They were weak, struggling after years of internal conflict and poor leadership. When Jabari saw them, the memories of his abandonment flooded back, but he was no longer the helpless cub they had left behind. Approaching the pride, now led by one of his former brothers, Jabari let out a deafening roar, one that shook the ground beneath their feet. His mane had grown full and thick, his body scarred but strong, and his presence commanded fear. The pride recognized him immediately, but they barely recognized the cub they had once scorned. Jabari's old brother attempted to challenge him, but the fight was over before it began. With the skill and ferocity Seko had taught him, Jabari easily overpowered his sibling, taking his place as the pride's leader. The lions who had once bullied and abandoned him now bowed in submission. Jabari, the disadvantaged cub who had been left to die, had returned as the most dangerous predator in the savannah. He ruled his pride with a balance of strength and wisdom, his past shaping him into a leader who understood both the harshness of the wild and the resilience needed to thrive in it. Jabari's story became legend across the savannah, a tale of survival, strength, and the power of never giving up. The runt of the litter had grown into a king, feared by enemies and respected by all. And though the scars of his past remained, they were now symbols of his victory over a world that had tried to break him. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring animal tales. See you in the next one.